When you render in Arnold, you'll probably be doing a lot of test renders. And so the easiest way to do that is to use Arnold's render view. Now we can find this in the Arnold menu under Arnold render view. So when I open this up, it brings up this render view window. And we can get things started by doing an IPR render. So we go into render and do run IPR. When we do, it will do a render of the scene. Now this render can be saved out if we want to. We also can look at it in a number of different ways. One of the most important ones is the view menu. Now this allows us to view individual channels such as red, green, and blue, but it also allows us to turn on test resolution. So right now it's at 100%, which means it's rendering the whole scene. But if we turn it down to 50%, watch what happens. It goes back and it does another IPR render, but it only renders half the pixels, which means that it will render a lot faster. Now we can go even further down here. If we want to, we can go under View, Test Resolution, and go to 25%. And as you can see, this is a much lower resolution, but it will render much faster. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this back to 50% and show you a little bit about how this can also be interactive. So I'm going to go into my outliner by going Windows Outliner, and let's go ahead and select one of the lights. I'm going to select Spotlight 2 in the scene, and let's go into the Attribute Editor. So I can turn off one of these lights. So if I turn off Illuminates by default, that light goes off. And notice how this almost instantly renders. I can turn it on, and if I want, I can adjust the intensity of the light. So if I bring it way up, you can see that it's bringing it up in the render. I could also bring it down. So this is a great way to adjust your lighting in the scene interactively. Now, in addition to this, we can save out snapshots. So if I go into View, Store Snapshot, it'll go ahead and create a snapshot for my scene. So if I change my lighting here and do View, Store Snapshot, now I have two. So I can basically step between these and have individual test renders that I can work with. Now, in addition to this, we also have settings for the image viewer. And so I can go into here, or I can go into Window Display Settings or Window Pixel Information. So I'm going to go into Display Settings here. And we can change the gamma of the image as well as the exposure. And then we can also use preset gamma and exposure. And then if we want, we can change the background and background color if we need to. So this is actually a very powerful window that will allow you to do test renders. It'll allow you to store those test renders and manipulate them as well.